Everyone knows who King Von was, but who King Von truly is.
He was a serial killer who bragged about killing people, and he professed and confessed to be a demon.
He was that, bruh. If he wanted you out of there, he'll go do it himself on feet by himself.
Von gave me a lot of passes. He could have killed me a couple times.
I was happy as hell when I found out Von was dead. I cooked for the whole day.
I was relieved for the community, man, because he was over there torturing them guys, man. I ain't gonna...
But today, I want to show you the man who made it possible for us to have King Von, the one known as Silk from Ada Park.
Rest in peace to Silk from Ada Park, that was the oldest.
Before there was Daquan Bennett, there was Walter E. Bennett, better known as Silk. Even though they look almost like twins, there is about a 20-year gap between them. Von's father was born on October 28, 1974, and from the very start his life was anything but normal. According to several sources, his parents were so involved in the streets that they could not risk going to a regular hospital. They did not know who might show up, because even back then things in the streets were intense. Instead, he was delivered by a midwife on silk sheets, which is how Walter Bennett ended up with the nickname Silk. His parents could afford those silk sheets because they had made a lot of money hustling in the streets. Silk grew up around Ada Park, a well-known park in the Morgan Park area. His father was a calm type of gangster, the kind of man who spoke only when it was necessary. His mother, on the other hand, had a fiery personality. Even though she was a woman, nobody in the neighborhood took her lightly. If someone talked crazy, she would quickly check them. At the same time, she was extremely independent and earned respect from people around the hood. That same independence eventually rubbed off on her son. After some time, his parents separated, and his stepfather played a major role in shaping his life. His stepdad was Big Reggie, a respected street figure who had also become a millionaire. From him, Silk learned a lot about how to move and survive in the streets, which slowly pushed him toward becoming a well-known name himself. But before that path fully took over, there was a time when Silk was barely involved in street life at all. Many people who knew him growing up say he spent a lot of time playing basketball at Ada Park. Even though he was not the biggest player on the court, he was very skilled. Some people believed he had the talent to make it all the way to the NBA. That possibility could have changed everything. If Silk had reached the NBA, he likely would have taken his family out of the neighborhood. Von might never have grown up in O-Block or even spent time around WIC City. He might never have stepped into the street life at all, never become V-Roy, never met Dirk or joined the crew. His story could have been completely different, maybe just the son of a wealthy NBA player. But it seemed to have tabled. Silk joined the Black Disciples and began hustling in the streets. Naturally, that life brought serious problems with the law. At one point, Silk caught a charge that led to him serving 9 years in Menard Correctional Facility, known as one of the toughest prisons around. When Silk eventually came home, he returned with even more respect than before. His gang respected the fact that he stayed solid and never told on anyone. Because of that loyalty, he was rewarded with control of a BD tower in the Robert Taylor homes on State Street. The position was not just about loyalty. People also believe Silk had the intelligence and street awareness to handle that kind of responsibility. This was the period when Von's father started bringing in serious money. Word in the neighborhood was that Silk became a millionaire at a young age. Everyone knew his name. He carried strong respect in the streets, looked out for people close to him, and had a generous side as well. His circle was small, only a few trusted friends. Silk was not the type to be around just anybody. If you were around him, you had to be ready for whatever might happen because he truly lived that life. And in many ways, that sounds familiar. It reminds people of King Von himself. In one interview, Tay Capone mentioned that not everyone could hang around Von, because if you were with him, you had to be prepared for dangerous situations and ready to defend yourself if things went left.
In 2012, everybody couldn't hang with Von. Like, if you was hanging with Von, you had to accept everything that came with Von. You had to accept that you was gonna be in shootings, accept that it was gonna be that, and you had to be with it, you feel me, with Von, you feel me? And this was a lot of the time, everybody didn't want to hang with him. They couldn't, because you had to be on what he was on. A lot of people didn't know what Von was on, because Von was like that, you feel me? So that was faking, for sure ain't want to end up somewhere with Von, by themselves, you feel me? Niggas that was soft, really didn't want nothing to do with this shit. They weren't trying to kick it with Von and stay around him too long, you feel me?
While King Von's father was living that wild lifestyle, he never hesitated to spend the money he made. Silk loved cars and had a habit of buying the newest models and bringing them back to the neighborhood. Whenever he showed up, the whole block would light up. People treated him like a neighborhood superstar. Silk was also known for his success with women. One story that often circulated claimed he carried a key ring filled with different keys, each one belonging to a different woman. They trusted him enough to give him access to their homes, letting him stop by whenever he wanted. Silk was making serious money and living like a true player. That lifestyle eventually led to him having 7 children with different women. It also explains why he and Von's mother separated, and why he and Von did not spend much time together growing up. Still, many people close to the situation say Silk was never a deadbeat father. The reason he missed time with Von was not because he chose to, but because he was constantly dealing with jail time. Even with that distance, Von always spoke highly of his father and clearly looked up to him. In many ways, he idolized him and often mentioned how the streets had taken his dad away. Silk was killed when Von was only 11 years old. According to people from the streets, there are 2 main stories about what happened. The first theory claims Silk lost his life after robbing the wrong person. Von's uncle, Hassan Craig, once explained that Silk had broken into someone's house and taken their money. The home reportedly had security cameras, and once the owner saw it was Silk on the footage, things quickly took a deadly turn.
I knew who hired him, the whole city knew who hired him, because Silk allegedly broke into a house and took some money, and the people had cameras or whatever the case may be. And I later found out who it was, and I didn't know him from a can of paint. They like, man, you got to know him, you know, and so I don't know him. And word got back to me that somebody dropped a bug in his ear and let him know that I ain't about that, and I ain't, you know, I'm a Muslim and I'm doing this, that, and other. So stand down. You ain't got to worry about him coming to retaliate or what's this, that, and other. So it's just what it was. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. And do I believe he was backdoored by the people who he went on this thing with? Yeah, but I don't have any proof, and I only speak facts. You know what I mean? I only speak facts, and whatever in the dark got to come to the light, and no soul shall taste death without God's permission. So that's just what.
While Von's father was respected by many people, he also had plenty of enemies. There were individuals who envied his success and were ready to see him taken down. In the streets, that kind of attention often comes with betrayal. It is a world filled with jealousy and hidden motives, where trust is hard to come by, and even people close to you can turn against you. Because of that, some believe Silk may have been set up by someone he trusted. But many people question the first story about him robbing someone. Silk was already very wealthy, and most of that money came from his own hustle. Still, having money does not always stop people from taking risks or making questionable moves. No one is saying for sure that Silk was robbing people, but this is one of the stories that has circulated in the streets for years. Another reason the truth is difficult to confirm is that Silk was never part of the music world. He was not a rapper and had nothing to do with hip-hop or recording studios. He was simply a street figure focused on making money. Unlike rappers who talk about their lives in songs or share things online, Silk never documented his story publicly. That makes it harder for people to piece together exactly what happened. The second theory is the one most people believe. It reflects how things used to operate in Chicago during that time. Today, many street conflicts end with drive-by shootings, ambushes outside stores, or tracking rivals through social media. But in the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s, the methods were sometimes more calculated. Groups in certain neighborhoods were highly organized and used more strategic ways of attacking their rivals. In some housing projects, people even kept watch from the rooftops of high-rise buildings. If someone unfamiliar came too close to the area, they could be spotted from far away. Sometimes all it took was a single moment for things to turn deadly. Those kinds of tactics were not unheard of in certain parts of the city during that era. According to the second version of events, July 31st, 2005 was the day Silk's life came to an end. Similar to the first story, people say he was betrayed by someone close to him. Silk was known as a major dealer rather than someone who robbed others. On that day, he was reportedly involved in a deal that went wrong. He was at the roller skating rink located at 11122 East 87th Street when he was suddenly shot in the head by a sniper, ending his life instantly. In one interview, Von's uncle also stated that his older brother had been taken out by a sniper rifle.
I got a special connection to him. I don't have the BD OTF connection. I got a different type of connection. When I saw nigga, I saw my big brother again. Big bro died, I saw my big brother again. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, I'm with big bro every day. Kill his daddy with a sniper rifle. This shit shit get deep though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, sniper. He hit him with a sniper rifle. They at the skate rink, but you know, that's another story. He was a different nigga. You know what I'm saying? But he's just like Von, big heart. You got a big heart.
Many people believe Silk was taken out with a sniper because getting close to him was nearly impossible. He carried himself in a way that made it hard for anyone to catch him slipping in the streets. According to what people in the neighborhood have said for years, Walter E. Bennett, better known as Silk, was allegedly shot by a man known on the streets as Killer Wall, who was said to be part of a group called Terror Dome. Even though Von lost his father at a very young age, that loss left a permanent mark on him. Growing up without his dad, after the streets took him changed the direction of his life. Aside from mentioning Silk from Ada Park in his music, you could see how much King Von cared about his father through the many times he posted about him on social media. That is not the behavior of someone holding anger toward their father. It shows the love and admiration of a son who looked up to him. Even though they did not get much time together, it is clear that Von held on to those memories tightly. Beyond their strong physical resemblance, Silk and Von were very similar in many ways. They both started making money at a young age and earned respect as well as fear in the streets. Loyalty meant a lot to both of them, and they each had a reputation for being popular with women. They also shared a certain charisma and a unique presence that made them stand out wherever they went. Both father and son kept their circles small, choosing to stay close only with people they trusted. Sadly, despite that caution, both of them were eventually betrayed by people they considered friends.
Von was set up that night. So therefore, this was orchestrated. The people were paid to kill him that night. Fist for fist, knife for knife, gun for gun. You don't have the right to pull a gun and we're fighting fists. It's a back door. It ain't gonna never make sense to you because you wasn't there for the payment to get dropped off to Lil Tim.
How you know that this payment was dropped off to Lil Tim? I heard you say you was with him.
I'm with him.
Okay, so well, take us back to that day when you and Vonnie went to go drop off the bag. How did that happen? What was going on?
Vonnie come get me from the house. They already got the money ready in the back of the Suburban, maybe a 97, 98 Suburban. And give me a pipe. I don't ask no questions. We roll and we go to the country part of Georgia, and we can even pull my phone records. And that may let us know because my phone started roaming. This how deep we was in the sticks. My phone was roaming, and we sitting on the side of the highway in a neighborhood though, a little 2-lane highway, sitting on the side of the highway. Lil Tim come flying past us on a 4-wheeler. I didn't know who he was, I didn't know the name. But prior to that, let's go back, prior to that, we pull up on Quando at Quando's crib. My son tried to get the money to Quando. Quando say, no, I don't want nothing to do with that. You gotta go take care of yourself. Like, you're not finna put nobody else's money in my hand and they say it was short or whatever the case may be. You take that to him. You understand? So we end up taking the money to the guy. But I'm not knowing what it's for. I don't know whether or not they finna get some weed later on or what they finna do. I don't know. You know what I mean? But by him saying, Lil Tim running from the police on the 4-wheeler, and like I said, it's like we're in the middle of a drug deal, so I know I Googled my phone because I got a partner named Tim from Memphis. He got caught up running through the woods with bags of money and everything. You can Google it. You know what I mean? And it's the same situation, so it played in my mind because like I said, it's like we're in the middle of a drug dealer. We got money, we got pipes. My man Tim, he got caught up running from the police in the woods. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just say his name, Timothy Woods. You can Google it, Memphis, Tennessee, running from the police. And he got caught with 200,000 in the woods and all this type of crazy stuff. So the situation reminded me of that. And then for this to be the same person that ended up shooting Von, this is what that money had to be for.
Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe Von was set up by Vonnie and a few others? Or do you think that story is just rumors? And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out the next one on either side for another even crazier story like this one.